What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, the World Boxing Organization, better known as the WBO, President Mr. Paco, have now decided that they will not grant the permission of former unified three-belt WBA, WBC, IBF welterweight world champion, superstar boxer, now junior middleweight or middleweight title contender, Errol "The Truth" Spence Jr., who is 28 wins, 1 loss, no draw, 22 wins by way of knockout, 34 years of age, 5'9" with a 72-inch arm reach. They will not grant him the permission to be top 15 in their ranking system to face off against the towering Inferno, Mexican superstar, unified WBC, WBO, junior middleweight world champion, Sebastian Fundora, who is 21 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, 13 wins by way of knockout. One time in his career, he was knocked out. He's 26 years of age, 6'6" with an 80-inch arm reach. He's coming off the biggest victory of his career, March 30th, against Australian superstar boxer, former world champion Tim Tszyu. He won a split decision. So Sebastian Fundora is the WBO, WBC champion. Tim Tszyu was the WBO champion, and they fought for the vacant WBC title and the Tim Tszyu's WBO title. Fundora won. But the mandatory is pound for pound king, undefeated 4-division world champion, superstar boxer, 2-division undisputed world champion, and the reigning WBA junior middleweight world champion, Terence Crawford, who was 41 wins, no loss, no draw, 31 wins by way of knockout. And he beat Errol "The Truth" Spence Jr. July of 2023 in an undisputed welterweight, highly anticipated showdown. He dominated that fight. We have not seen Errol Spence in the ring since then. And Errol Spence, he got in the ring with Fundora after he beat Tim Tszyu. Prior to that, he said he wanted to fight the winner. And after he beat Tim Tszyu, that being Fundora, Errol Spence got in the ring and they were supposed to fight in October. But Terence Crawford petitioned the WBO for the mandatory position, and the WBO granted him that permission, right? And Terence Crawford was sidestepped by Tim Tszyu. They allowed him a voluntary defense, which was supposed to be against former unified welterweight world champion Keith Thurman. But Keith Thurman suffered a torn bicep, so he was injured and not able to proceed forward with the fight in March. And Fundora filled in, and the rest is history. But Terence Crawford was then fighting the WBA junior middleweight champion Israel Majamov August 3rd, but still in position to be the WBO mandatory challenger. So they gave Sebastian Fundora a limited amount of time, and Terence Crawford, he had to fight Terence Crawford and negotiate. Terence Crawford granted him permission to go ahead and fight Errol Spence, but he has to fight Terence Crawford afterwards. But Errol Spence was not ranked in the WBO top 15. And if you're not ranked in the top 15 in the WBO, you cannot keep your title, not fight your mandatory, and fight a voluntary. So therefore, it had to be somebody in the top 15 for Fundora. So Errol Spence and his team petitioned to be placed in the top 15 of the WBO. That way, Fundora can keep his titles and not be stripped. But the WBO has now denied that. They said no. So that means Fundora is going to have to fight somebody in the top 15 of the WBO, or he's going to have to fight Terence Crawford. Now, it's said that he's in talks to have, a showdown with his WBC interim champion, junior middleweight undefeated Mexican superstar Virgil Ortiz Jr. Okay, so with that said, this is very, very interesting. Very, very interesting now, because now he can't fight Errol Spence without being stripped. If he fights Errol Spence, he's going to be stripped of his title. Now, Errol Spence did make mention that he could possibly go to middleweight and challenge the WBA middleweight there in Errol Lara. But in the top 15, you got Xander Zayas. That's a great fight. You got Josh Kelly, Charles Conwell. That's a great fight. You got Takashi Inoue. You got Jesus Ramos, but he's getting ready to fight. You got Cordell Booker. You got Jorge Garcia Perez, Freitas Rojas, Adrien Holmes, Tim Tszyu is still there. Erickson Lubin in a rematch because he already beat Erickson Lubin. Brandon Cook, Spomer. You got Nakati Tszyu. And then you have Jonas Telez, right, in the top 15 in the WBO that Sebastian Fundora can choose from, right? Or he could just go ahead and make the fight with Terence Bud Crawford, if Terence Crawford wants to do it. But let's see how this unfolds. But Errol Spence now looks like he's going to be forced up to middleweight to fight Harrisandi Lara, right? Or he could fight Fundora, but Fundora is going to be stripped of the WBO, so it'll only be for the WBC. Then Terence Crawford will be elevated to the WBO champion and the unified champion. So let's see how this unfolds and plays out, man. But that's all I got for y'all. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV. All one word. It's your boy Blue signing off. I'm gone. Peace.